record. Hi there. Thank you for coming today. I'm here to do another interview in a series of interviews for dog owners to help them discover the secrets of dog experts and transform their connection and create the best bond and the best relationship or friend that they've always wanted. Today, I'm here with Amber Overwater. Thank you very much. She is a professional dog trainer. She has multiple certifications. She has her Clicker Hounds business foundation. She's the founder of Clicker Hounds. That's what I meant to say. Where you have a lot of great things going on and training in your page and what you're able to do there for dogs. So thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Who is that with you again?
It's Buffy.
Buffy.
Buff.
Buffy's your cohort.
Yeah.
Out there today. So, since you've got your cute Buffy there, I'm going to say, I understand that you do some dogs. You like to do dog sports, which I do too. Do you do them with Buffy?
Buffy's kind of semi-retired right now. She's 11 years old. She's had some health issues past couple of years, so we just keep it fun. We don't compete anymore.
What did you do?
We did do Rally-O for a bit. We only got one qualifying run, but we had fun with that. And then we've been doing a lot of barn hunt lately. She seems to be really coming out of her shell with that. And
another game for the nose. Yes. That's so awesome, actually, for sure. Well, I know I wanted to share some of your knowledge and experience to help dog owners out there. And I really wanted to hear your story, how you got into being a dog trainer. I guess originally you were a groomer. Is that how you at first?
Yeah, I originally started just bathing dogs, doing like the prep work, like nail trims, brushing them out, baths, blow dry, things like that.
And then that led you into, what was it about? You said that you couldn't, sorry, that you didn't like seeing them get so stressed. There was a reason why you got into training more. What got you farther than just doing those nails?
I was noticing that, some dogs are little worried and concerned about things, and a lot of the old school ways of dealing with dogs that were scared, I wasn't a big fan of, and I felt like there has to be a way that we can make this kinder, more compassionate to the dog, just making the dog happier.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and from there I kind of found all the cooperative care work, how to get your dog happy for vet care and grooming, and then just kind of dived in more behavioral work with my own crested Buffy here for separation anxiety, and it just kept snowballing.
What did she used to do when she had separation anxiety?
Yeah, she had separation anxiety. She still struggles with it time to time, but she would howl in her crate. She would urinate. Her front teeth are completely ground down from chewing on her kennel.
Oh,
and
boy.
I didn't know it was this bad until I recorded it while I was away, and it just completely floored me. I was just like, there has to be a good way, nice way to do this, to handle with it.
That's horrible. Yes, when I worked with them, I remember some dogs broke their canine.
Mm-hmm.
They were just, and that we did actually get that on, she had that on camera. Like, you would be like, oh my God. And then it's so horrible to see an animal go through that and to know.
Yeah.
So what is it that helped? I would love to hear some of your examples of how helping with separation anxiety like that is really common, and especially with COVID right now, when people are going to have to start thinking about it, right? You got to start planning this, helping your animal.
Yeah. So a lot of it was desensitization to my pre-departure cues, like things that would trigger her anxiety when I'm about to leave, like picking up my keys, putting on a certain outdoor sweater, putting my shoes on. So I would just do that randomly throughout the day, just so it becomes a boring thing and not a, oh my God, mom's leaving thing.
Perfect. Yeah. And it works, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've yeah, thinking ahead of time, because when you walk out the door and go for 4 or 8 hours, all of a sudden after being home every day all the time, your poor
Mhm.
dog doesn't know, what their whole
Yeah.
world gets thrown upside down.
Mhm.
I wonder what other methods. So what other methods would you do there? So just desensitizing.
Yeah, and I would set up an X pen for her to hang out while I'm still home. So she would gain the confidence that she's allowed to be alone and hang out by herself and not have to be right there with me. And then from there, I eventually started working on going outside for 30 seconds, coming back in, and then just randomly changing up the times until I was able to get to about an hour, hour and a half that she would just hang out at home. It was fine. No crying, no.
So she's proof that desensitization can happen. I mean,
Mhm.
that's quite a drastic thing to see, to find, grinding her teeth, and
Mhm.
she's so that stressed out, and it's wonderful. And then just telling people that, right? Letting people
Mhm.
watching know that you can work on these dogs,
Yeah.
and have them not super panic and go through such stuff. So
Mhm.
I've actually, because I've seen it and experienced it too, and the camera is just, can make a difference. It's not a bad
Mhm.
idea. I tell
Mhm.
people to put a camera on when they're home, but the camera when you're not there, if you're really not sure what your animal is doing,
Yeah.
it's definitely not a bad idea to do. Do you deal with a lot of people? Are you finding you're getting a lot of people too with that issue right now?
It's been building up. There's probably one or two a week. People contacting me like, "Hey, my dog's struggling when I leave. What can I do?" And
That's
just
great though. That's great that they're trying to get help, and
mhm.
um, definitely makes such a difference. And so then, and practicing things, the other skills that came with that, like you mentioned, well, I'm just going back to thinking about the grooming, the
Mhm.
general handling of dogs, can make such a difference if it's done ahead of time.
Mhm. Yeah, so I've been really interested in the whole cooperative care work that's been getting really popular lately. And recently I did a workshop about cooperative pill taking. So my wind sprite right there, he will put his chin in my hand. I guess back up a little bit more from there. I'd present him a pill. That's a way for me to say, hey, it's pill time. I would put my hand out. He would rest his chin to say, hey, I'm ready for the pill. So then I would pop his mouth open, put that pill in, then grab him a big treat and hand it to him. And that's how he lets me know that he's ready for the pill. I have the pill ready to go. And it's funny to
And
see that he's excited to take the pill.
yeah, well, it's way better than a fight.
Yeah.
And then wrestling, especially, any dog, they tend to have teeth. Yes, pills can be a very interesting conversation for getting dogs. Yeah, and what other now you're making me think here, because you're a groomer, and I haven't spent a lot of time asking any groomers at all about a few things. What about doing the nails? Because I know, have you got any tips aside from
uh,
people handling as soon as possible when a puppy starts touching their toes?
yeah, so Deb Jones has a great YouTube channel for cooperative nail trims. So pretty much she has this Zen bowl. It'll be a bowl of treats, and the dog will offer or say that they're ready for the nail trims if they go on the table, and then you'd pick up the feet, chop a nail off, not fully, but then you grab a treat and give it to them. And if the dog jumps off the table, that's them saying, hey, I'm not ready or I'm not comfortable with this situation. Then you can just back it up to just touching their paw, giving them a treat. Touching the paw, giving them the treat. So just adjusting things as you go too.
Yeah, just slowly work. You know what, that's pretty much exactly how I've had to do it with my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because the one, I didn't have to do her nail. I didn't even have to worry about cutting them ever, because she did it herself. She was always chewing her nails nicely, and it
Oh,
worked.
that's nice.
and and then now she got older, and we had to pull a bunch of her teeth, and she only chews one side,
Oh no.
and And she looks like this cute little dog, but she can be pretty ferocious when she didn't like her feet, and her feet, because I'd never done it. And
Mhm.
I didn't think ahead, which now I do think ahead about other things with touching too. And it's little by little. It was just like,
Mhm.
yeah, like you're saying, just give me a paw, and first just touching her with the clipper too, right? Like not only my
Mhm.
hand, but then touching her gently and giving her a treat. And and now she'll let me do a whole foot before having a treat. So it's come a long
Oh.
way. It took, consistency. If I do it over a
Mhm.
few days, it actually doesn't take long
Mhm.
if you put in a little bit of time.
Mhm.
Any other tricks? No, I'm just trying to think about, yeah.
I
Mhm.
also, when Framped, my wind sprite, was 6 months old, he got stung by a bee and needed eye drops. Me hearing other people dealing with puppies and eye drops, just wiggle worms, but I did that chin target again. He would rest his head in my hand, and I'd drop that eye drop in, give him a cookie. Just, just amazing.
That's
He's perfectly
awesome.
behaved.
So it's like it's a sustained chin holder, what I think you would call it, or
Yeah,
something like that, right?
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So obviously that's a really good thing to teach your dog right away. Because I know I teach
Mm-hmm.
touch and worked a little on the hold. I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually from a scent class that we're taking.
Mm-hmm.
But not much. I haven't done it much.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be a benefit to teach something really early then.
Yeah, yeah. I've been including it in my puppy classes, and I'm seeing people are
Wow.
really enjoying just teaching it too. That's such a different thing, but
Absolutely.
for
But the
everyone
benefits are
around.
going to be, like yeah, they have
Yeah.
later on, they'll be like, wow, I'm so glad we learned this way back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I recently was talking to another speaker, and I'm not going to quote which name because I've just had so many in the last few days. Um, Talking about how when you're how much easier it is to train a puppy something than a dog who's got all these other behaviors already trained.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very interesting, eh? And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be, because I do think touch is a good thing too if you really work at it. It's such a good redirection or whatever too.
Mm-hmm.
So one other thing that we really wanted to talk about was play. And I
Mm-hmm.
was so happy to see that that you talk about the importance of play, and you have, um is it part of your program, I believe you said?
I've been introducing it to some of my reactive dogs lately to see how I'm liking it and how I like to teach it. But I've used it for my own dogs when I'm at a class and they're a little anxious. We'll just have a little play session right there just to calm both of our nerves. Because I'm scared because I'm a dog trainer. My dog's supposed to be perfectly behaved, but he's over there crying, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's just have fun. Let's play. Do our own thing. Don't care what
No,
other
you
people
know what?
think.
You would find that most trainers
Mm-hmm.
have a dog that's a challenge and far from perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I have my one's a 2 year. I don't know how long I've had Hogan, for at least 2 years we've had him now. And he is totally, a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say today, one of his biggest problems is the recall. If he sees a bird or he gets, and he's so fast, he's gone. So he's been way more confined than I would prefer him to be, but I also don't want to lose him.
Mm-hmm.
So today he followed somebody out the gate.
Oh,
She
jeez.
hadn't closed the gate behind her, and it was really interesting because I thought she knew, just somebody dropping something off, but she just went to grab something and come right back, and the dogs followed her right out the gate.
Jeez.
And she did the let's go this way because she knows I always say that, and they
Mm-hmm.
all followed her right back in.
Oh, awesome.
But
Yeah.
but you know what, yeah, no, that's something that so many, it's very common. And it's
Mm-hmm.
good for everybody out there to know that a lot of trainers, our dogs are not perfect
Perfect.
either. We're
Yeah.
learning from everyone, and they don't come with a manual.
Mm-hmm.
But play is such a fantastic way to bond and connect with your dog, and
Yeah.
you're finding it's the most helpful in the dogs that others wouldn't think that you would want to. They wouldn't think that, if you see a dog that's all reactive,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's, I hate to use the word aggression, but if a dog
Mm-hmm.
is seeming aggressive or definitely not approachable
Mhm.
and not happy with the situation in a angrier way, I guess I would say.
Mhm.
That how much just changing it to a happier, lighter, fun mood and environment can do for them.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it works.
It does. It's so helpful for the person too, just being able to relax too and have fun. And it allows them to also just learn a little bit of their dog's body language too. Just seeing, oh, they like this when I pet them like this, or when I dance like this, they get excited, or do they get scared? Just little tiny body language things they can pick up from play.
Yeah, I've even encouraged people to dance with their dog if they can,
Yeah.
dance, you
Mhm.
know. It's true. They got to, get used to your arm movements a bit and stuff because you don't want it, especially if it's a jumpy dog, like a reactive dog, like you say, right? Getting them used to
Mhm.
your moving and yeah, and proving that I don't know if the word is tolerance, but just to getting them used to it and not being
Mhm.
afraid of it.
Mhm.
And what other you play is, and so it's you also touched on it's very how much it makes a difference for the person,
Mhm. Yeah, I
changes
think
the whole mood.
yeah, I think that people have a lot of weight on their shoulders when they're dealing with a reactive dog, and we typically focus on the dog mood, but the person on the other side of the leash is struggling with something too here. So just
Absolutely.
mhm.
Absolutely. And that's the other biggest part of the puzzle
Mhm.
is getting the person on the same page and having fun and connecting with their dog and not
Mhm.
being guilty, or mad or frustrated.
Mhm.
I mean, how can you play wrong?
Yeah.
It kind of may feel like it at first, but once you get the right mood going, whatever the dog likes and if it works.
Yeah.
And play is also every age even likes to do a little bit of it.
Mhm.
It's true. They're all they're all they're all like that, like me play. And then play also takes away, what else is good play for? It gets their energy out.
Uh, it really, you can add in a little bit of training too into the play that might be a little bit of masking with you, that it's not like a formal session, but it's just kind of passive, just a little bit of recall in play. So your dog, you're scratching their butt, you run away, and you're like, "Hey, come here, come here." That might be a way to encourage that learning, but having fun too.
Let's go this way. It's my
Yeah.
favorite thing to say. I shouldn't say that too loud here.
Yeah.
I might get a house room full of dogs. It's, you know what, I feel that is one of the most important things that I've now, like, I just feel it more and more, how important it is to teach that, to getting them to follow you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're running and playing is an excellent way to practice it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go this
Yeah.
way and then turn and go the other way. And it doesn't even always have to involve treats,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know how much, I never asked you how much you treat. Um, well, you do stuff that I know with tricks and rally and stuff that you would
Mm-hmm.
do treats, but toys even work too, right? If the dog
Yeah.
likes a toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Most of the time I use treats in the beginning phases and then just randomly when I'm training too, just to kind of proof those behaviors and know the dog is getting rewarded how they like. Because if we're not rewarding them properly for their behaviors, they're going to be like, I don't want to do that anymore. Not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a paycheck, right?
Yeah.
I call it a paycheck. My tuna treats is like kryptonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. If your dog is toy motivated, it's very nice. I think I as a person owner of dogs who are not very toy motivated, although I am finding new ways to work on that more. Um, it's then you have to consider their diet, their food and stuff if you're giving all that extra treats
Yeah.
and the healthy treats, hopefully. But yeah, toys are. Does your Buffy go for toys or no?
No toys.
See,
No, she's not a toy
I
dog.
should have brought it in here. I have that ball that you can put the treat in.
Mm.
And that actually is really getting one of my dogs motivated
Hmm.
to go for it and bring it back to me, which is,
Oh, wow.
the other half of that
Nice.
game.
Yeah.
The importance, I think, is learning what your dog likes to play, how to play.
Mhm.
They're also different. What about, do you use any scent work? Do you do search at all? Oh, you said you did
No.
barn hunt.
Oh, I did barn. Yeah, I do barn hunt.
Okay. I don't know how much many people know lots about barn hunt. It's fair. All the scent games, sports, to me, what I believe are fairly new to here,
Mhm.
to Canada, to Manitoba.
Yeah.
And it's a growing field. I think it's one of the best things that they could be doing is using their noses, because they were born with amazing noses and scents and brains that are connected. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
So your dogs, how hard was it to find? So they have to find a rat, is that right? In a
Yeah.
container. The rat's fine and happy.
Mhm.
And it's all gaming. It gets lots of treats after, and it doesn't get hurt. So
Mhm.
how hard was it to get your dog to actually search for the rat?
Buffy did it right away. Like she was born for it. Yeah, she easily got her novice barn hunt title. We're still working on the next levels because of COVID. No training is happening. Then
Yeah.
my wind sprite, he's not for rats. He's more about bunnies and chasing plastic bags.
Oh. And you don't do search? You don't play search much with your dogs?
Not much, no.
No?
No.
Oh, you're gonna have to watch my interview with Jamie Pound. I use a
Will
lot of
do.
search. It actually it's interesting how I did it, and I think it's because I was stuck in the winter with small dogs. But
Mm.
but just using their nose and how tired they can actually get from it is something I take totally advantage of, especially now that I have 4 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
It really helps to use some of their energy. But I love doing stuff. I love rally, is amazing. Have you ever done rally free?
No, I haven't.
The rally is quite, I think 2009 was the beginning in Canada or something like that. Like it's really quite a new sport. And it's something that I fell in love with right away because it was all fun and happy and positive reinforcement based. And it was like the funnest way to say sit to your dog almost. To me, that was the way I felt about it. I know to compete, you're a little more serious, but you still have to be having fun.
True.
And and it's all about connection, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff though, the teaching them ahead, the body, touching their body, touching right from day one, and getting them used to being handled for the groomer and for the vet, and
Mm-hmm.
playing with them, and working on anxiety issues or anything. It's all very important things that I think a lot of dog owners are struggling out there with right now.
True. Yeah.
Boy, the groomers right now, I think everybody wants, I think that, I don't even know how many are open, but I mean, if the groomer is the only person ever seeing your dog,
Dog.
I hope they get along great.
Yeah. Hopefully.
That's a tough job,
Mm-hmm.
being a groomer. I just starting to experience that a little, the most ever, with my one dog. He's a Pomeranian, and he's got long black hair, and I have to brush him, and I don't know much about it, but I try and stay on top of it. His coat's beautiful. I had a groomer compliment my dogs. She thought I
That's
groomed
good.
them all the time, and I'm like, not really.
Well,
Aw, I'm so glad that we got to talk today, though. I was trying to think of what else. I'm sure there's something else you can add here. Just believe that if you want to get out there, that you can learn how to help dogs, right?
yeah.
Training.
There's there's always someone that you can talk to, finding like a local trainer or chatting to your vet, going to a pet professional versus asking your friend. So your friend might have grown up with dogs, but they might not have the most up-to-date information.
Yeah. And we can help online. You can
Mm-hmm.
you can you can do this. I mean, if I were sitting with you here, you know, you could be doing a trick with her. You can communicate and still have, even though we can't get together, there's so much that can be done.
Mhm.
And that I want to do, because there's a lot of people that have no help at all.
Mhm.
And so that's why I'm encouraging people to reach out and not be afraid to. Man, dogs' lives are short.
Mhm.
You don't want to regret, you know, years later, oh, we should have did something, you know,
Yeah.
next thing you know, the dog, you know, your 2 years is, you know, a long time for a dog.
Mhm.
Encourage people to reach out and have fun and get to play with their dogs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate this very much, Amber.
Thank
I'll
you.
just stop the recording right away, but thank you for coming. You also have a gift that I didn't check. Well, what are you giving? You don't have to worry.
Uh,
Just
it
tell me
was
about it.
it's
Tell us
just a
about it.
PDF about ways to 5 ways to connect with your dog better. So there was, can't remember all 5, but there was just learning more about your dog's body language, making sure that you're speaking up for your dog, being your dog's advocate. Like if you're walking down the street and you see a friendly dog with a owner and they're like, oh, hey, let's meet. The dog's at the end of the leash barking at your dog. You can just say, no, sorry, today I'm turning my dog. No meet and greets. Just an easy way just to push them away instead of having to say anything negative to them. But
Ah,
just being there for your dog.
advocating is I've actually really feel that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And realize how much of that is, as dog trainers, that is our responsibility to try
Oh.
to, and not to try, but to actually advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And body language too is huge. That's one of my number one things, I think, is good. And that's what you can get by playing. You can
Yeah.
learn about body language playing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So your gift is that we'll get that attached. Yeah. That'll
Yeah.
be your gift with your, thank you for your interview, and gift for
Thank you.
for all the viewers, you know,
Mm-hmm.
please take a look. Connecting, it's all about connecting. And your dog wants to connect with you. You're sitting there saying hello.
I know.
They're saying hi. Not you know, they want to get to know you. And if you don't, they pay attention. The next thing you know, they're, you know, chewing your table leg or something.
Yeah.
Or peeing in the house because they said I had to go pee. It's true. Thanks a lot. Hang on, I'll just stop recording.